All right, Nick, let's talk about the Colorado Buffs. They had what some people would call a disappointing season, but if you look at it, logistically, if you look at it like a realist, it was a great season for the Buffs. They won one game the season before this. They won more games this season, and they beat a lot of really tough teams. They looked good doing it. The offensive side of things looked really good, but there's one glaring issue, one main issue on both sides of the ball. And I think that was in the trenches. They didn't have the horses when it came to the trenches, but that is about to change, especially with this commitment, one of the absolute top tier commitments in all of college football. This kid coming out of high school looks like an absolute beast. We're talking about none other than the number one offensive tackle in the 2024 class. Jordan Seaton has now committed to the Colorado Buffs. This is going to be absolutely massive going forward. Nick, let's look at the article and we'll talk about it on the other side. This, of course, is from over on 3 Sports. It says 5-star offensive tackle Jordan Seaton of Washington, D.C. and IMG Academy now announced his commitment to Colorado Thursday morning. The 6'6", 290-pounder chose the Buffaloes over Tennessee, Oregon, Ohio State, Florida, and others. The Sunshine State offensive tackle joins Coach Sanders and the Buffs' top 45 2024 class. He is accompanied by 4-star athlete Aaron Butler, 4-star corner Kim Mickle, among others. Seaton ranks as the number 12 player in the On3 industry ranking, the number 1 offensive tackle, and the number 4 player in the incredibly competitive state of Florida. He is from DC, but obviously moved down to Florida to play at IMG Academy. But I think this guy, Nick, is the start of something special. If he makes it to the campus at Colorado, this could be the kind of player that is a turning point for Colorado. He's an absolute mauler in the run game, a great pass blocker. He's like 6'5", 290, but he has that 6'10" wingspan. He's an absolute beast of an offensive lineman. These are the kind of players Colorado needs to target now. They got the skill guys. They need to get in the trenches. I'm curious, though, Nick, what your thoughts are about Buffaloes fans. Let us know in the comments below. How excited are you that Colorado is finally starting to build in the trenches? Let us know. Season's over this year. Let us know. What are your thoughts on next season? How many wins can Colorado garner next season getting top tier offensive linemen like this? Let us know in the comments below. But Nick, what do you think about this commitment for Colorado?
So it's massive, right? Because there have been all these reports and all this evidence of a lot of people, a lot of players at Colorado entering the transfer portal. But look, a lot of that's overblown because every single program in the country has a lot of people entering the transfer portal. I think latest in numbers have over 1,400 athletes at the FBS level, FBS and maybe FCS, both of them, Division I football, basically, right, are entering the transfer portal. That is absolutely redunculous. That's crazy high. So when a few guys go out in the transfer portal, like is what happened with Colorado here, that's not really an anomaly. It's sort of just the way college football is right now. And there were a lot of reports, a lot of talking heads in the media were like, all right, this is the era of Coach Prime is now a total failure. All these people are leaving. Well, I have something to tell you guys. The reports of Coach Prime's demise have been widely exaggerated. This commitment, bringing in Seaton, is the most unbelievable thing I've seen from a recruiting perspective in a very long time. Because like you said, Colorado had a lot of nice things last season, but the reality is they are a 4-8 team in the Pac-12, and they're moving to the Big 12. They were, not one of the high-ranking teams in college football, obviously, last season. Didn't go to a bowl game. Programs like that aren't supposed to really get 5 stars like this from all the way across the country. It's not like this kid's from Denver. It's not like this kid's from the state of Colorado or something like that. This kid is from DC. He plays football down in Florida at the IMG Academy last year, right? So there is no regional connection. There is no way a 4-8 program should be able to get a guy like this who everybody across the entire country, every single blue blood in the country really want to join the program. And to me, it speaks to what Coach Prime can do in the recruiting game for the short and long term as well. And you brought up a great point. This is the first of many to come. Offensive line and defensive line, too, to be honest, were huge areas of weakness for Colorado. They were absolutely terrible up front, both sides of the ball last season. That's just the reality, right? We watched the games. We know how it turned out. Their line of scrimmage play was horrendous. Bringing Seaton into the fold, they automatically are a little bit better because of that. But I think this is just the first step of a bunch of guys, because one of the things we talk about all the time on the show is good recruiting begets better recruiting. When you bring in 5 stars that want to commit and play for a coach, other 4 and 5 stars come in and they want to play, right? You bring in a 5-star quarterback, you bring a lot of great offensive linemen, you bring in a lot of great running backs because they want to play with the quarterback. It's the same thing here. You bring in a 5-star offensive tackle, guess what? You're going to get some 5-star running backs that want to run behind this guy. You're going to get some 5-star guards that want to line up next to this guy. You're going to get some highly ranked tight ends that want to line up next to this guy. And you're going to get some highly rated defensive ends that want to beat this guy and compete against this guy in practice every day. Good recruiting begets better recruiting, and getting this commitment obviously is a big deal, but the timing of it is so crucial because we're just now getting to the thick of the recruiting season now that the conference championship weekends are done. Everybody's out recruiting in full force. So it wasn't like Colorado like kind of stole this when other programs were busy. All the big guys, the Ohio States, the Oklahomas of the world, they were using the same time as Colorado to go after this kid, but only Coach Prime was able to get it done.
Yeah, Nick, this just shows the elite recruiting prowess of a guy like Coach Prime. He's very good. He's only gotten one other 5-star so far, and that's Travis Hunter, and we all know how he panned out. So this guy, I'm expecting to be an absolute force at the offensive tackle position, and I think we all know that. I think that's assumed. Everyone can guess, okay, this guy is going to be really, really good. But like you said, I want to nail home that I think if you're able to get this guy, the best offensive lineman in the entire class, I think there's going to be a couple other guys to follow him. And this offensive line can turn around very, very quickly if you're bringing in players like this. Because we're not talking about just recruits. If you have a guy like this, who wouldn't want to transfer from a different school to come to Colorado and say, hey, we could join some special like turnaround of this offensive line unit. They need help. This seems like a good crew. I can mentor. We can learn. We can look really good. What guard wouldn't want to play next to this guy? You're going to look really, really great next to this guy. Probably run the ball for 1,000,000 yards. Obviously, Colorado had a very high-powered offense. I think they fell off in the end part of the season just because you get worn down when you're getting beat up that much. It's hard when you don't have the guys in the trenches to back you up. So I think this is the season. Everyone who came out and said, okay, Colorado national champions, blah, 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 the first few games of the season, that was crazy. That was, everyone overblowing stuff. But the fact of the matter is, you got 400% more wins this season than you did the previous season. You have to be pretty happy about that. 4 wins versus 1. I'll take that every day of the week. And you know what? We're going to double it. Let's get 8 wins next season. Get yourself to a bowl game. That would be a huge win for Colorado. And these are the kind of guys you bring in to help you get you there.